Good evening, the internet. How we doing? Like it. So you may see that there's like one or two people missing, and I will get to that in a little while because nobody's watching. Nobody ever did watch. But tonight is going to be groundbreaking. I'm not just doing water tests over the internet. What I'm doing is launching a brand new concept live. Strap yourself in, boys and girls. This is going to go mental. So we'll just do a normal. I've got two viewers. I guess who those two are. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, hi Keith. So you're not one of the people that I was thinking was a viewer. So I've got one other person watching. I'll fill you in, Keith, in a minute. What's been going on? Got it all written down. So we'll just do normal water tests because at the minute we've got some stragglers, so it's just me. So prepared as always. Let me get a little bit of water. Now, chatting away when you're not looking at me is a bit weird, but you've come to become accustomed of randomness. So we'll just keep the randomness going and see where this little water test takes us this week. Because I'm not doing anything magical with this fish tank at the minute. I did put a wave maker in. So spoiler alert, for 10 minutes time, I did put a wave maker in. But just let me have that. I know you watch me every week. I know you, because you're a good. You're good, and you are. Yeah. Oh, and your lovely wife as well. Because it's different when you get to. Wait. I've got to count and talk. I can't do that. When you get to meet people face to face, and then you get to watch them over the internet. I'm a clown in the shop. I'm a clown on the internet. It's just how it goes. And there's not many people that you met in a retail environment, and then the last time you saw him, he was in his dressing gown. There's not a lot of people that you see. Not a lot of people that you see that way. But we've got people watching. We've got people in the comments. Let's break the news. So I started this new project as a random thing of having a fish tank in the background and doing a year's worth of content all live to the internet. And sorry, counting again. I've just put two lots in there. That's what you get not concentrating. I'll tell you what, I know what that is anyway. You get to the point where you just keep doing the same things over and over. And I did a random stream, me on my own, 2 months ago, and like a legend popped up in the comments, and I was like, come and get yourself on. You're a legend. Everybody knows who that legend is. And he came on and he had a chitty chatter, and he's decided now that half cut corals is not for him. That's perfectly fine. I've been through quite a few people to get to where I am now. Don't you worry about it. But I'm now in a predicament because I'm now talking to myself again. I have put it in the group chat that there's a live stream going on. I would presume that they're watching. So, hi, boys. Because you never know, I may throw them under the number 9 that comes by. Because this is half-cut corals. I make it up as I go along. So, you're ready for this? What I'm going to do now, and you have to bear with me because I'm doing 2 things at the same time, is I'm going to copy the live stream link. And just bear with. Copy. And let's do this. I know you're watching. Bear with. So let's. How do we do that? Paste. Done. Next. Post. Oh, right. So that's posting itself. So tonight's link is part of StreamYard. It's a platform that goes all around the world. I did have one time when I put the link out and it didn't dare press it. But you press that link, you go into the background of this thing. So just this is what me looks like. The background is the background. The internet can't hear you. Only I can see you. And then up until the point where I press a little button, you're there. And we can have a little chitter chatter. So the concept going forward is any random stranger, wherever you are in the world, click the link, come and say hello. Nobody else is doing that, are they? It could be Car Crash TV, but there's worse things on the internet. There used to be somebody dressing up in costumes. I don't know where he got that idea from. Yeah, I know. It came across really well. But each to their own. Yeah, each to their own. Not for me. Bit of weirdness, but it's got him to where he is now. Let's just say that. Let's just say it's got him to where he is now. So my brand new concept. What do we think, Keith? Oh, right. So one is probably in a lay-by somewhere, but he's not got a fish tank anymore. So that was like one off the list. I would presume that at least one of the other 2 is watching. But I gave them fair game, but they've now hit the big time. They're now in like let's say a community, and it's like whether they want to put up with my madness or whether they don't. Yeah. I've always supported and gave advice. I mean, I remember a time ages and ages ago when we did like a live stream and we found let's say a foreign object, and he got over that. All because of me, I'd say. But there's talks of another platform coming on, and I will support that platform as I've always done, because at the end of the day, I'm just on my own on a Friday night having a beer, got a beer, and I'm messing about with fish tanks. That's what I do on a Friday night. So water testing, doing all the different bits. I've now got to do a Instagram. I've now got to do a TikTok. and then I've like sort of not done the YouTube bits, but I'm going to get back to the YouTube bits because I started this 18 months ago. I was sat just in there a little bit, let's say, distraught, and thought, yeah, let's do the internet, let's see what happens. And then yeah, I met some wonderful people, and we've had a laugh and a giggle, and it is what it is. Yeah, just roll with the punches. That's what it says. There was a time, Keith, and you don't know this, but I'll inform you because I'll talk to you as though you'd like here. So the way that I got people on board right at the beginning was I used to chitter chatter about them. So I got Daryl involved by drinking a Nuki Brown because he'd mentioned it in the shop a couple of days before, and then all of a sudden he fancied coming on a live stream, and then all of a sudden he didn't. But it's just how it goes. I didn't know. I'm not going to. Well, I didn't know John. I don't know whether John's watching, but if you are watching, John, and you're catching it up, hello. Still a reefing legend. If I'm not for you, that's perfectly fine. But sitting in like a group chat messaging for 4 years, maybe he likes that more. Right. So, let's get to the letter. So, the reason that John decided he didn't want to be part, I've got a proper form of my live stream, was I said something about rival platforms that he didn't agree with. So I've got a long-worded apology. That's what we think to that. If I'm not for you, I'm not for you. It's the internet. There's loads of people out there. You never know. You may be sat watching me now, whether you're on catch up or whether you're live, and just fancy having a chitter chatter about your fish tank over the internet. The link is on Facebook. Click it. And let's say for the next 10 weeks, I'm going to do that. But this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, because there's a couple of people that have come on recently that have named their coral bundle. So we had a little bit of a back and forth about coral bundles and how much they were going to cost. And obviously, Keith, you've had a coral bundle. Hope it's still going well. And 35 quid for 5 corals, and then you pay the postage, which is £12.99, works out at £7 a coral. And you could basically try something that you've never ever done before to see whether it's for you, and it's going to cost you 7 quid. If you decide that you want to come on my live stream, we'll give you the chance of having a coral bundle that you pick for 35 quid. And then every week I will put one coral bundle that that person decided that they wanted on a Sunday night up for sale, and one other person that's watching it live could have an extra 5 corals in the fish tank for 35 quid plus postage and packaging. I think that's a cracking idea. Let's get rid of that. I've got a board here that tells me what I'm doing this week. Coral deal. Oh, another coral deal. I think, is it next week? Next week, I'm going to be in an England shirt, not half cut corals that you can see, in an England shirt, because we're going football mad. A lot of you are on my Facebook. If you're not on my Facebook and you're watching this, get over to Facebook. I would say like and subscribe, but this is what you do: like and subscribe, follow, and at any stage during the England match, only England, I'm going to give you a voucher code. There's going to be one voucher code, and it's going to get you a free coral. So that's that. Oh, another thing. So there's a lot of shops now that are doing things over the internet, and I love watching them. And they're doing like corals to your door and things like that. But you cannot buy a coral for, like, a coral bundle for 35 quid. There's nobody that's doing it. There's only me. Cheapest corals in the UK. I'm thinking about that as a hashtag. But the hashtag that I've gone for is frags for fame. You may have seen it or you may not have seen it. So hashtag frags for fame at Half Cut Corals. You post that in any group, any Facebook group in the UK, and it will notify me that you've done it. Anybody does that, I'm going to put a cheeky little thing there, and you might get discounted corals. I'm growing them, nobody's buying them, so I might as well give them away. Oh, dearie me, what else have we got? Oh, I didn't do the voucher code from the 448937. I do apologise, but the 448937 voucher code is going to be live on Sunday. Yeah, I can read. I can't read and do this at the same time. Sorry. I used to have a man that was in the coral. It was in the comments section that would highlight it. So we'll just highlight it and see where. Quality corals, that is. See, all thumbs up. So we've done a football giveaway. We did the tests. I know you're hanging on the thing. Still 5 nitrates, 0.1 phosphate. And I was going to put a picture up of the corals that I've got in there, but I've just put some new corals in. Let me just highlight this. And if you can see, we've now got right in the middle is a favia, quite low down. And then to the right hand side, the next one across is a little mushroom that I've put in. They're not available on the website at the moment, trying to grow them out. And then directly above that, we've got some, what are they called, Lee? Come on. It'll come to me. And then next to the long green star polyp, I've put another green star polyp. What else did I put in then? Oh yeah, I told you earlier that I've put a wave maker in, because that's the bit of having a little bit of a chitter chatter and being informed by the internet. I came off after saying that I didn't want to put a wave maker in there, and I was told off because just killing corals randomly isn't something that you do over the internet, apparently. So give them the best chance. Put a wave maker in there. All I've put in is a Jabo SOW8. They're about 85 quid, brand new. So mine's secondhand because it came out of a tank in there, but it works perfectly. The seller was brilliant because I took it out of there and I put it in there. So yeah, my stuff, moved it from that one to that one, didn't clean it, just wang it in. More videos coming of this tank. You're gonna have to bear with, because I tried doing something and uploading it the other day, and for some reason it didn't do. You can hear all the background noise and stuff like that. I occasionally watch my content back, and sometimes you can hear the background. But just to give you an idea, there's a 4-foot frag system there, 4 foot wide, 2.5 foot. No, that's long. 2.5 foot wide, and then there's another one which is 5 foot that's there. So 5 foot, then 2.5 foot, and then when you go in there, there's another 4 which are 4 foot by 2.5 foot. So I've got plenty of growing space. And if you're going to sell corals over the internet, you need to have a platform to do it. You need to have the stock. So coming up with a live stream, Facebook page. Are you following me on Instagram and TikTok? That's just it. And what's the worst that could happen? You could be stood on your own on a Friday night talking to yourself. I know I'm talking to you, Keith, and your lovely wife. I forget her name. I won't say Diane, but I don't. It may be, may not be. If your wife's there and she's watching, and I've just mentioned Diane, he's not been out. I don't know. He's not been out. Well, that was the excuse he came up with anyway. So have we covered everything this week? I believe that's it, and that's taken me 21 minutes, and nobody. Diane, is that what I said? Yeah, maybe. But I've got nobody to talk to, just me on my own. Nobody's clicked the link. I know. Funny thing is, right, that I know who's seen the link and still didn't choose to click it. Just saying. So what else are we going to do? Are we going to fill another 10 minutes of time? Let's put a coral deal together. Ooh, no, I'm not prepared for that. I can't do that. I'll have to do that next time. So if you've watched this far, get yourself over halfcookcorals.co.uk. They're probably the cheapest in the UK at the moment. Prices are going to go up, but then we're going to do coral deals. We're going to do all sorts of different stuff. Football giveaway Wednesday. The actual cheeky one is going to be if we get through the group stage and we play the game like really late at night. You imagine picking up a coral deal at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock at night. See what happens. If there are any disgruntled other platform people out there, come and say hello. You never know. Oh, I didn't write it down, but I was indirectly asked a question, and the question was put to somebody that used to be here, and said, "Oh, so and so, what's half cut corals all about?" And there wasn't an answer. And to be honest with you, I haven't got an answer either, because I'm still making this shit up. Thank you very much for watching. We may get some celebrity guests next week because they've watched me do it again. We may not. May just be me going forward. So we'll see. So at 25 minutes, just last thing. You can only get my corals on halfcookcorals.co.uk. You can't get them anywhere else. And I've been told by like people that where I used to do them from. So anyway, 25 minutes. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching, thank you, Keith. And I'm going to have to write this on my board. And Diane, how do you spell that again? Can we call her Lady Di? Oh, I don't know whether that's appropriate. No, we'll call her Diane. And there you go. And then same time, next time, there's nobody here to give you a celebrity wave this time. If you're watching me, I'll catch up. Get involved. Thank you very much, Keith. See you next time. Ooh, I've pressed the button now, and this is what happens. I give everybody a celebrity wave, but you have to press the button.